But
I don't understand why our active service people are showing up for work if they're not getting paid. I hope they're not. Every single active service person should not be working. I hope they're not. I think they should all be standing down. I don't think they should. Why would they work if they're not getting paid?
I also want to say that the overarching problem that we're seeing today in terms of the what is actually happening here. And if you thought 60 Minutes from a week ago with Witkoff and Kushner was bad, well, Jen, brace yourself. The 60 Minutes segment last night about American hegemony and the Monroe Doctrine will prove to you why what happened to Noah, what is happening with Israel. All of this is a plan, and it is no different than any other major empire that's ever crumbled in history. And leave it to probably the two most loathsome, disgusting members of the U.S. Senate to explain why that is the case.
Maduro, I'd head to Russia or China right now.
Because?
His days are numbered. Something's going to happen. Whether it's internal or external, I think something's going to happen.
What do you think removing Maduro would signal to other socialists?
Keep in mind, I'm going to start this again. He's talking about first Russia and China, and then he pivots to Venezuela. So listen closely.
If I was Maduro, I'd head to Russia or China right now.
Because?
His days are numbered. Something's going to happen. Whether it's internal or external, I think something's going to happen.
What do you think removing Maduro would signal to other socialist regimes?
It'll be the end of Cuba. America is going to take care of the Southern Hemisphere. And we're going to make sure that there's freedom and democracy.
Like just like we have here, right, Rick? Yeah, that's what the world wants. They want the kind of freedom and democracy we have here.
You know, the one thing I could say about Rick Scott, he has the most dead blue eyes I've ever seen.
I can't even look at him. He's disgusting. He's Voldemort. He's a loathsome individual. So we're watching our senator, those of us who are stuck in Florida, speaking threatening the head of a foreign nation, of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, and threatening him that he better get out because someone's coming for him. They've already tried to kill him so many times. And now we're moving our biggest aircraft carrier into that vicinity. Like we're really wanting to play war games. We are really trying to bait them into justifying us putting boots on the ground in Venezuela. And it won't matter because nothing that they do is going to regime change Venezuela right now.
The other thing that I think is very important here, which I think, again, gets kind of glossed over when everyone's talking about Venezuela and what we're doing there, he opens with Maduro should flee to China or Russia. So what he's effectively saying is we are not just going after Venezuela, we are antagonizing Russia and China together at the same time.
Well, no, he knows that they're right now behind Venezuela, which yet is another reason why it's us just picking a fight. Like we really want to go at it with China. China has vowed to support them militarily. So this is going to get ugly really fast. And people like him are totally willing to let other people's children go die.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I've seen where Rick Scott lives. Let me assure you, the people that have that kind of money, they're more than happy to tie up a few loose ends if they have to in order to maintain that lifestyle.
Oh, yeah, no, he could not care less.
Sure that there's freedom and democracy.
The examples you're citing also involved ground troops. You said time for Maduro to go.
Yeah.
That sounds a lot like regime change. Are you talking about troops on the ground?
I'll let the president speak to that.
Yeah. They are talking about troops on the ground. And the reason that we know this is that regime change requires boots on the ground. It can't just be done from dropping bombs. So that's why we're baiting Venezuela into some form of retaliatory action by shooting at ships and blowing up ships and killing people in their waters. Not even in international waters, mind you, in their waters. We are killing random boats, blowing them out of the water no evidence and just claiming it's drug cartels when we know that it's not.
How about the reaction of Sissy Lindsay when asked point blank, does that mean boots on the ground?
He knows damn well it does.
Let me think.
He knows damn well it does. And right now, we don't have the manpower.
What did Daddy say that I'm allowed to say? I'll wait for my daddy to tell me what I can say. Right now, I'm not 100% sure.
He knows damn well that in order to have that happen, there has to be boots on the ground. Now, would we not use our own boots and use someone else's boots? Sure, we would do that. But there's no one to really do that for us. Who's going to do that for us? Who we sending in on our behest to conquer Venezuela? You know, because the Colombians aren't going to help us at all since we're going after them too.
Can we send Lindsay? Can we send Voldemort? I know they don't.
Well, I think honestly, that there needs to be a law that if Congress declares war, that their families go sign up and go first.
This is also why I've always been very adamant about Teddy Roosevelt, because Teddy would never ask somebody to go fight in a war that he wouldn't fight in himself. It's always the worst of worst people that will say, you have to get, like Rick Scott talking tough. Like, who the fuck are you, man?
It will require conscription. They will have to have a draft if they want to initiate a boots on the ground type of, strategy, whether it's Venezuela, whether it's Iran, they will have to have a draft.
They keep daring the country to rebel, to revolt, to have a revolution. They're doing it every day. How much further do you think we can push these guys? When we get, and here's, we'll finish out the video, but here's some, I'll remember it when it's over. We'll finish this up.
I'm talking about a briefing that would expand military operations potentially from the sea to the land. It is time for Maduro to go. It was time for Ortega to go. The Monroe Doctrine has been robustly applied by President Trump.
The Monroe Doctrine.
So we are now overtly acknowledging colonialism. That's what we're talking about. Like,
you're invoking the Monroe Doctrine.
Yeah. So this caucasity. So this is, we're saying, and I've heard him say things on other shows recently, Lindsey Graham, about Venezuela being the 51st state or whatever other nonsense he says. The complete caucasity of him to sit there and talk about which leaders get to be in which countries. I mean, it's just, you can't make this shit up.
Well, they used to be able to come up with some type of a backstory that would rile up the populace, but I keep telling you, there was way too much bad that was done in Afghanistan and Iraq to tens, if not hundreds of thousands of American soldiers, and knowing full well as a result. I mean, this is why the false flags became such a common thing. Now I'm convinced. I mean, look, we've done enough coverage on this channel to prove that 9/11 was a, you know what. Point being is that listen, I almost became a soldier. I looked at it and was like, well, I have to defend my country. There were millions of people that felt, well, they came here and attacked us. I have to go do it. So you don't need a draft. You just got ready, willing, and able participants. And then when you find out what it's all about, how do you think you're ever going to sell that again? How do you think you're ever going to convince the American population that, yeah, this is totally acceptable behavior. This is exactly what we need. Conscription, that's what's coming.
Well, the further squeezings of our economic situation forces people into military positions. That's their way of conscription without conscription, is you make life so unbearable that for a lot of people, military service is the jobs program.
I normally would not do this early in the show, but we have to do it because it's our friend. Anthony, I don't know why you're doing this, but
no.
We love you, baby.
Oh my God, Anthony, we love you.
I think it's abundantly clear that Trump is manufacturing a conflict in Venezuela to kill Maduro, install Machado, invade Guyana, take the oil, totally taking the oil, drill the Arctic in Alaska, which is why they want to connect the two countries.
They're just doing that now, yes.
cut off Gulf oil, allow Israel to, I don't know what that word is for the region. We'll soon take it. The rich get richer. But again, how much more are people willing to put up with at this point? That's got to be the question. How much more? How many times can they poke you in the eye before you say, I think I've had enough?
Yeah, but and we're doing it all over the globe. So it's just yeah, we're sitting there and poking, and the nerve of Lindsey Graham of all, like, to say Maduro's got to go. Lindsey Graham had to go 20 years ago.